Hello everyone and welcome back to Senior Cat Wellness. Today it's all about your cat's appetite and why their desire to eat has seemingly vanished. If your cat has suddenly stopped eating, it's very natural to worry. Cats are usually creatures of routine, and when that routine does change, especially concerning food, it can be a sign that something is just not right. So, in this video we'll talk about why your cat might not be eating, and what could be causing it, and when it's time to call your vet and seek professional advice and professional care. Understanding the possibilities of why your cat is now refusing to eat or stopped eating can help you to take the right steps to get your cat back on track quickly and safely and in a very healthy manner. When a cat refuses food, the first thing to remember is that it's not always just about their appetite, it's about their overall health. Cats have very sensitive systems, and even going without food for as little as 24 to 48 hours can be very serious. Prolonged fasting in this way can lead to fatty liver disease, which can develop rather quickly and unfortunately be life-threatening. So if your cat does stop eating, it's always worth paying close attention. One of the most common causes is illness or overall pain and discomfort. Just like us, felines don't really feel like eating when they're unwell, not feeling too good. Everything is just sort of off in their environment. The very last thing they want to do is eat, and that's a lot like people in many ways. Dental problems are also a major culprit when it comes to refusing to eat. Tooth decay, gum inflammation, mouth ulcers, all of that can make chewing very painful, and some cats will choose just not to eat if it means they can avoid all of that pain from chewing. You might also notice drooling, sort of pawing at the mouth, where your cat takes a paw and sort of rubs the lips, the teeth, the gums, or dropping food while trying to eat. And essentially, this is what it sounds like. The food's just falling out of their mouth as they try to chew. Infections, such as liver issues, as I mentioned, kidney disease, even sort of what we would consider a bad cold, an upper respiratory infection. It can all impact their sense of smell in this regard and reduce their appetite. If your cat's not eating for more than a day or so, like I said, that 24 to 48 hours, and certainly seems rather lethargic and overall weak and dehydrated, a vet visit is certainly in order. The sooner, the better. Another reason that your cat's appetite could be drying up a bit is stress. Overall stress and anxiety in the environment. Here again, this sort of harkens back to us, right? How many times have you been really, really stressed out and the last thing you want to think about is eating because your mind is occupied, even your body is occupied with this stress. Cats are very sensitive to their surroundings. A new home, other animals in the home, new animals in the home, guests coming over to the home. Even a change in your daily routine can make them anxious and cause them to skip meals. And unlike our canine friends, cats simply don't eat because food is available. They need to feel calm and secure most of the time, a grand majority of the time, to feel comfortable to eat. If stress seems to be the main trigger, try offering your cat meals at a quiet, familiar spot, out of high traffic zones, out of noise zones. Use the same bowl, the same food, and start up that steady routine with them. If that routine had to be paused for whatever reason, get back on that routine and make sure your cat's eating in a comfortable and relaxing location. Next up, let's talk about food aversion. Sometimes cats associate food with a bad experience, a bad prior association. Like, let's say if they ate something and then got sick after eating a certain brand of food or a flavor of food to them. If the food itself wasn't the cause, they can develop a bad connection to the surroundings. Like, if they ate something at a certain spot and then something happened, and I can't even imagine what that could be off the top of my head, to be quite honest, but it's just like people. Some people, especially youngsters, they may be afraid to do something, and the act itself, or what they're talking about being afraid to do, is not the problem. It's the association. Some people and some cats will avoid situations based on negative prior experiences. Switching to a different flavor when you're talking about food here could help to sort of break this negative cycle that they're experiencing. Change the texture of the food, even changing the temperature. Some pets prefer food that's slightly warmed, so it smells a lot stronger. So if you're trying new food, introduce it gradually by mixing it with the old brand over several days to avoid an upset stomach. But food aversion is very real. Sometimes your cat will turn up their nose at the food, and it may not have anything directly to do with the food itself. It's the association of a prior bad experience. Now let's talk about boredom and just overall finicky behavior and pickiness. Cats can be surprising particular about what they eat. think a lot of us do know that. It's sort of it's an old association with cats about how they can sort of turn up their nose at food. Even if they've had the same food for weeks and months and even years, over time they'll lose interest. So try rotating between a few options, options that are certainly meant for their health, high quality options of cat food, a mix of wet and dry. Consider adding a teaspoon of maybe tuna water or chicken broth or just water in general to make it more appealing. For senior cats, a loss of appetite can be related, unfortunately, to a medical condition or simply the aging process itself. Arthritis, thyroid concerns, and going back once again to those dental issues. Older cats may struggle to even reach a food bowl if it's placed too high or too low. It can be a struggle just to sort of take that position, if you will, that eating posture. So there's a lot more to consider when you're talking about senior cats. So keeping the food hearty and accessible and making it soft in texture, can make eating easier for senior cats, and that's obviously the goal. Next up, let's talk about food formula. Some pet brands occasionally will update their recipes, just like here again, harkening back to us. Have you ever eaten some of your favorite French fries from your favorite fast food location? Then all of a sudden they sort of tweak the recipe, and you're like, "Hey, what's going on?" Well, same thing can be said for your cat's food. Your cat's favorite meal might suddenly taste a bit different or smell a bit different, and that subtle difference could turn it from the top of your cat's list to the very bottom. So if your cat stops eating immediately, even when the product is fresh, it could be a different recipe. You can try buying a small quantity of another flavor or brand just to test things out to see if that indeed the case. And if you know for a fact that a brand has changed the formula and your cat is turning their nose up at it immediately after this change, you can almost guarantee they're picking up what you've read about, that the food has indeed changed. Now let's talk about, once again, I mentioned it earlier, but temperature and the environment where the food is. Cats have a very keen sense of smell, we all know that, and cold food right from the fridge, that might not be too appealing. So warming it up, it releases that aroma a bit stronger. And let's talk about household odors in combination with the food. Something maybe even a pleasant smell like an air freshener or cleaning spray. Well, once that sort of blends in with the smell of the food, that could be a big turnoff for your cat. So if your cat goes more than 24 hours without food, and if they also stop drinking and perhaps are nauseated and vomit or hide or lethargic, it's certainly, if these are in a collective, symptoms in a collective, it's certainly time to see a vet. Loss of appetite on its face is not a disease. It's just typically a symptom of something else. Could be a health problem. Could be a, hey, I don't like this food anymore problem. But your job is to try to get down to the bottom of it and take your cat to the vet if they haven't consumed food with, certainly I would say 48, but it's 72, no more than 72 for sure, but that 24 to 48 window. If your cat is used to eating daily and snacking daily and they want nothing to do with any of it, that's a major red flag that you need to pay attention to. So continue to offer your cat small portions of food during this time. If you notice they're not really eating their big meals, try to see if they'll eat anything. And if they're not eating anything at all, not even a meal, not even a snack, here again, red flag. Most important thing you can do overall is to act quickly and stay very observant to what's going on. As an owner, you obviously know your cat better than anyone. So if something feels off, it's a good chance it probably is. So most cases of a lost appetite are certainly treatable when caught early. Your cat will bounce back once the cause is addressed, and let's hope it's just something minor like cat just not liking that food anymore. To the wonderful audience of Senior Cat Wellness, what are your thoughts on this topic? Anything you'd like to personally add to the conversation, that comment section, as always, it's all yours. And if you did enjoy this content, found it informative, please like the video, share it out, and subscribe to us right here at Senior Cat Wellness. Until next time, we will talk to you later.